Think you've seen the best of 70s cinema? Think again. These 10 criminally underrated films slipped under the radar, but they're packed with gritty crime, haunting mysteries, and unforgettable performances. From lost neo-noirs to buried thrillers, these are must-watch hidden gems. Let's dive in. Electra in Blue, 1973. A cop searching for justice and finding nothing. A lone motorcycle cop cruising the endless highways of the Arizona desert, chasing a dream that no longer exists. It's a haunting meditation on power, corruption, and the slow death of idealism. Robert Blake stars as John Wintergreen, a highway patrolman who wants more than writing speeding tickets. He dreams of making detective, of solving real crimes, of doing something that matters. But as he climbs the ranks, the truth sets in. The system he believes in, rotten. The justice he seeks, an illusion. Visually, the film is breathtaking. Every frame drenched in the heat and loneliness of the desert, every long stretch of road a symbol of broken promises. But beneath the beauty lies something darker. A creeping, inescapable sense that Wintergreen's search for meaning is leading him toward a dead end. Electra in Blue flopped at the box office, lost in a decade obsessed with anti-heroes and rebellion. Maybe it hit too close to home. Maybe audiences weren't ready for a cop movie that didn't glorify the badge, but instead asked a chilling question. What if justice was never real to begin with? Who'll Stop the Rain, 1978. A war that followed them home. Ray Hicks walks off a cargo ship like he has nowhere to be. A duffel bag over his shoulder, a cigarette in his mouth, the weight of something unseen pressing down on him. Nick Nolte gives him the kind of presence that makes you uneasy, like he is 10 seconds from throwing a punch or 10 seconds from walking away forever. This is not a war movie, but the war is everywhere. Hicks, a Vietnam vet, agrees to help an old friend move a shipment of heroin, one last favor. But the plan goes to hell fast, leaving him on the run with a journalist's wife, as ruthless men hunt them down. The film never gives you a chance to settle in. Conversations feel off, like everyone knows something they will not say. The violence is ugly, sudden, over before you can catch your breath. Nolte does not play Hicks as a hero. He is a man who never learned how to live in peacetime. Who'll Stop the Rain came and went in theaters, barely making a dent. Maybe because it never tries to comfort you. Maybe because it tells the truth. Some men never stop fighting. They just run out of battlefields. Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore, 1974. A dream, a struggle, a life. Some dreams feel within reach, but life has a way of throwing obstacles in the way. Ellen Burstyn delivers a powerhouse performance as Alice Hyatt, a widowed mother determined to build a new life. She pursues a dream of music while struggling with the harsh realities of single motherhood. Every setback, every heartbreak, and every moment of resilience is etched onto her face, drawing the audience into her world. Martin Scorsese, known for gritty crime dramas, shifts gears with this deeply personal story. The film does not rely on spectacle, but instead focuses on small, intimate moments that feel painfully real. Alice is not a hero. She is a woman fighting for survival in a world that refuses to make anything easy. The supporting cast breathes life into the story. Chris Christopherson plays a rugged yet gentle love interest, while Diane Ladd brings fire and loyalty as Alice's outspoken friend. These performances add warmth, but also tension, serving as a reminder that trust and love do not come easily. Despite winning Ellen Burstyn an Oscar, the film does not receive the same recognition as Martin Scorsese's other work. Perhaps its quiet, deeply personal story did not fit the mold of Hollywood classics. However, audiences connected with it. The story resonated so strongly that it inspired a hit sitcom, Alice, proving that Alice's story was not one that could be easily forgotten. At its core, Alice Doesn't Live Here Anymore is about perseverance, sacrifice, and the relentless pursuit of something better. The Laughing Policeman, 1973, a murder on a bus and a city full of suspects. A crowded city bus, its passengers riding through the night, unaware of the horror about to unfold. Then gunfire. A relentless barrage of bullets tears through the bus, leaving behind a massacre. No witnesses, No clear motive, only questions. Walter Matthau, known for his dry humor, transforms completely, shedding his comedic persona to play Jake Martin, a weary, hollowed-out detective tasked with unraveling this brutal crime. With every lead, the case grows more twisted, more dangerous, revealing a criminal underworld deeper than anyone imagined. This is not an action-packed thriller. It is something darker, more methodical, more suffocating. The Laughing Policeman does not glamorize the job of a detective. It shows the reality: burnout, frustration, dead ends. Matthau's performance carries the weight of a man who has seen too much, but refuses to stop. The film's gritty realism, bleak cinematography, and simmering paranoia make it one of the most authentic police procedurals of the 1970s. So why was it overlooked? Maybe because it felt too real. Maybe because audiences expected heroes, but this film delivers something far more unsettling, a reminder that some crimes never find justice. And some questions remain unanswered. Char 6, The Outfit, 1973. A lean, mean revenge thriller. No frills, no distractions. Just pure, unfiltered revenge. The Outfit does not waste time. It is cold, calculated, and relentless, much like the ex-con at its center. Robert Duvall delivers an ice-cold performance as Earl Macklin, a man fresh out of prison who learns that the mob wants him dead. His response? Take them down first. What follows is a ruthless, stripped-down revenge thriller, where every move is strategic, every decision life or death, and every gunshot has consequences. Unlike the flashy crime sagas of the era, The Outfit thrives on brutal efficiency. No over-the-top heists, no stylized shootouts, just raw, methodical violence. Duvall plays Macklin with a quiet intensity, never wasting words, never making mistakes. And when revenge comes, it is quick, sharp, and merciless. So why was this film largely forgotten? Maybe because it lacks Hollywood spectacle. Maybe because it is too unflinching, too real. Based on a novel by crime legend Donald E. Westlake, this is pulp fiction at its absolute best. A film that deserves to be rediscovered, because in the world of The Outfit there are no heroes, only survivors. Char 5, Night Moves, 1975. A noir where the answers only make things worse. A missing girl, a private detective. A case that should be simple, but every clue leads to something darker. Something worse. The late great Gene Hackman delivers one of his most understated yet devastating performances as Harry Mosby, a detective who thinks he understands the game, until the game changes around him. As he digs deeper into the mystery, he finds something far more disturbing than corruption or crime. He finds himself lost. Unlike classic noir detectives who always seem to be one step ahead, Mosby is always one step too late. Every time he pieces together an answer, it only leads to more confusion, more regret. His investigation is not just about finding a girl, it is about confronting a world that no longer makes sense. Director Arthur Penn drenches the film in a quiet, creeping paranoia. Sunlit beaches hide sinister secrets, casual conversations feel laced with unseen danger. And in the end, there is no real justice, no real resolution. So why was Night Moves overlooked? Maybe because it does not follow the rules. Maybe because its ending leaves you feeling unsettled, adrift, like Mosby himself. But that is what makes it brilliant. Night Moves is not about solving the mystery. It is about realizing there may never be answers. Across 110th Street, 1972, the most explosive crime thriller of the 70s. Harlem, a city on edge, a world ready to explode. When a group of small-time criminals pulls off a daring heist, stealing mob money meant for corrupt cops, the streets ignite in a ruthless, high-stakes power struggle. Yaphet Kotto and Anthony Quinn deliver commanding performances, playing two detectives forced to work together despite their deep mistrust. Their uneasy partnership reflects the racial and class tensions of the time, one man fighting for justice, the other clinging to a system that is already crumbling. The film is pure energy, every moment charged with raw intensity, brutal violence, and unflinching realism. The action is not stylized. It is messy, chaotic, and unforgiving. The streets feel alive, dangerous, unpredictable. And then there is the soundtrack. Bobby Womack's soulful, aching title song does more than set the tone. It becomes the film's beating heart. Every chase, every confrontation feels amplified, soaked in desperation, survival, and the weight of a city pushed to its limits. So why was Across 110th Street overshadowed? Maybe because it was too real, too raw, too unforgiving. While other crime films were carefully polished, this one threw you straight into the fire and left you there to burn. The Yakuza in 1974, a blood oath that can't be broken. The neon-soaked streets of Tokyo, a world of honor, betrayal, and blood debts that can never be repaid. The Yakuza is not just a crime thriller, it is a story of ancient traditions clashing with modern violence, where every action carries a weight that cannot be escaped. Robert Mitchum delivers a haunting, world-weary performance as Harry Kilmer, an ex-soldier who returns to Japan for what seems like a simple favor, helping a friend retrieve his kidnapped daughter. But in the world of the Yakuza, nothing is ever simple. What follows is a slow-burning descent into a world of unbreakable oaths, long-buried betrayals, and a debt that can only be repaid in blood. Paul Schrader co-wrote the script, infusing it with deep psychological conflict. Kilmer is not just fighting gangsters, he is battling his own past, his own regrets, and a love that never truly died. The final duel? Stunning, unforgettable. A moment of honor, sacrifice, and soul-crushing inevitability, one of the most emotional showdowns ever put on film. So why did the Yakuza struggle to find an audience? Maybe because it was too slow, too contemplative, too tragic for action fans, but for those who understand its depth, it cuts deeper than any blade. Cisco Pike, 1972. A drug deal, a washed-up musician, and a corrupt cop. The sun-bleached streets of Los Angeles, the faded remnants of the 60s, counterculture hanging in the air like a ghost. Cisco Pike is not just a crime story, it is a portrait of a dream that died, a world where peace and love have been replaced by paranoia, desperation, and the slow crawl of addiction. Chris Christopherson makes his film debut as Cisco, a once promising musician now drowning in bad decisions. The industry tossed him aside, and now the only way out of his slump is one last drug deal. But this is not his hustle. It is being forced on him by a sweaty, unhinged cop, played by the late, great Gene Hackman in one of his most vicious, unsettling performances. The film moves with a hazy, dreamlike rhythm. Conversations feel loose, moments stretch out, the music lingers in the background like a reminder of what was lost. The tension slowly coils, until you realize there is no escape. So why did Cisco Pike never find a mainstream audience? Maybe because it felt too real, too close to the truth about what happened to those who thought the revolution would last forever. But for those who discover it now, it plays like a time capsule of a world that disappeared. Dasa 1, Charley Varrick, 1973, The Crook Who Robbed the Wrong People. A small-time bank job, a simple in-and-out heist. That is all it was supposed to be. But when Charley Varrick cracks open the stolen cash and finds far too much money, one thing becomes clear. This was no ordinary bank. This was a money laundering operation for the mob, and now they want every dollar back, or his life in exchange. What follows is a brilliantly tense game of survival, where Charley must stay one step ahead of the mobsters hunting him and the law closing in fast. Mathau, best known for his comedic roles, delivers a career-best dramatic performance, cool, calculating, and constantly adapting. Charley is not a tough guy, but he is the smartest guy in the room. A survivor who knows that outthinking the enemy is his only way out. Don Siegel directs with razor-sharp precision, creating a lean, relentless thriller where every move feels like it could be the last. The villains? Absolutely chilling. Joe Don Baker as the sadistic hitman Molly brings an air of cold, brutal efficiency, making every scene with him pulse with unspoken danger. So why did Charley Varrick get overshadowed? Maybe because it was too smart, too subtle. A film that valued intelligence over spectacle. But for those who discover it now, it is a masterclass in tension, character, and how to play a losing hand like a winner. And that wraps up 10 criminally underrated 70s movies you need to see. These films may have slipped under the radar, but they deserve to be rediscovered. If you love hidden gems, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Vintageverse for more deep dives into classic cinema. Now, here's a question for you. What is the most underrated 70s movie you've ever seen? Drop your pick in the comments, and let's build a list of forgotten classics together.